The day for railfanning on 7/14/24 begins with Metro North train 6837 shoving past the Sono switch tower. With tower volunteer John Springer, who has a voice like a bellowing steam locomotive because he's known for huffing and chuffing and blowing a lot of hot air himself, giving instructions to the other visitors to wave to the train crew. As a retired Amtrak engineer, John explains how train crews like that sort of stuff, and it worked as we got some extra horn toots as the train eased by off the Danbury branch to South Norwalk Station. The drone of CT Rail GP40-3H 6698 pushing the train was a welcome sight and sound over the Brookville BL20s, which my friends and I have nicknamed blowers because of how they sound and the fact that I hate them as much as leaf blowers, because leaf blowers are stupid, they're loud, and they're the dumbest sound that us humans have ever created besides the Brookville BL20s. GP40s all the way, EMD far superior. Not long after 6837 cleared was a deadhead move 5539 passing by on track 3. This 7-car deadhead train starts in New Haven and runs to Grand Central Terminal only on Sunday afternoons. Looking like a corporate photo, 7 Blue Stripe Metro North-owned Shoreliner cars file past with boring Blue Stripe P32 ACDM 226 pushing with its e-bell and headlights on. For some reason, it was a common practice done with this train. I guess the engineer maybe forgot that both the e-bell and headlights were on. I mean, I saw it multiple times like this over the summer, and it made me laugh every time it rolled on through. Now Amtrak shows up to make themselves known with Regional Train 164 running by the tower on track number 1, which blows the horn to make itself known to the track workers on the Walk Bridge project. Both track 2 and 4, the two closest tracks to the camera, were temporarily shut down due to track work on the Walk River Bridge project over the course of the weekend. After 164 was Amtrak Regional Train 149 on track 3. Later was Amtrak Regional Train 154 hitting the brakes as it meandered past the tower on track 1. The growing, ever-increasing growl of CT Rail 6698 signaled the departure of train 6834 from South Norwalk Station. The phone ringing in the background is from a bit that John Springer does named Calling the Dispatcher with Visitors to the Tower. Once more, John Springer gives instructions to visitors to wave to the train, which again resulted in not only a few toots of the horn, but also a friendly wave from the engineer, with all fingers too. Calling the dispatcher involves another member picking up the phone in the gift shop on the first floor of the tower. Playing the role of dispatcher, that member asks if the trains are running on time. The visitor instead responds that they found the tower operator passed out on the floor and are asking what they should do now. The dispatcher responds to leave him there, take over, and that they'll do a much better job keeping the trains running on time. Next up was a pair of Amtrak Acellas running in both directions of east and west. The first was Acela 2252 coasting by on track number 1. Then, Acela 2255 trundles past on track number 3. With the Sono switch tower closed after 4 p.m., I went back to the South Norwalk train station at my track 3 and 5 spot there. Here's Amtrak Regional Train 88 passing a Metro North local on track 4. The shot on the camera looked level, but alas, far from that, as you can clearly see. The problem is, I need to reach around a big wide pole that supports 2 security cameras, which I'm pretty sure are fake, like birds. Because of this, many of my videos came out crooked over the course of the summer. You can see the support beam shadow in the bottom right of the frame and projected onto Amtrak 135 with a friendly engineer gliding past on track 3. With a horn blast way off in the distance before the platform, Amtrak Acela 2257 makes its presence known. A friendly wave gets another horn blast as Amtrak Acela 2257 coasts by on track number 3. With station announcements blaring and a bird flying past, which isn't real. Next up was Amtrak Vermonter Train 57 on track number 3 with an extra horn toot for the intrepid GoPro goof. Shot on the wrong side of the sun, train 6849 comes rumbling into South Norwalk Station on track 5 with CT Rail 6698 on the rear. As to why this was shot on the wrong side of the sun, well, that's just because I'm lazy. Yes, I am lazy because I didn't feel like running all the way down below the Monroe Street Bridge. It's like a half mile from my current location, which was on the wrong side of the sun. So I elected to stay on the platform, film the train there, and get a shot of the Jeep right to the face. Funny enough, Jeep to the Face will be the next video I post to the streaming platform Only Jeeps. Yes, only Jeeps, the site specifically made for just general-purpose locomotives with 4 axles from EMD. If it's a special-duty EMD with 6 axles, well, that's a different streaming service. That's called SD's Nuts. If you want the streaming service for General Electric locomotives, that's called Blow My Load, because GE locomotives just love blowing their stacks full of fire at the best or worst of times. Whatever railroad-related streaming platform you choose, whether it's only Jeeps, SD's Nuts, or Blow My Load, they're all guaranteed to help you blow your load. Let's get back to watching some trains. Now, I've showcased some really crooked videos, but I think this one has a distinction of being the most crooked video I shot all summer. As the passengers from 6849 disembark that train, Amtrak Acela 2254 glides by with a shave and a haircut, 2 bits, for the camera-toting idiot. Well, at least the going away shot was better lined up. Getting bored of the South Norwalk station scene, I left to see what else I could find going on around the downtown South Norwalk area. This prompted me to pop over to a dock which is like the horse that you ride through the desert because it has no name. The dock with no name provides a great view of the aging Norwalk River Railroad Bridge and the efforts going into building its successor. When I got there, the hulking, aging, ugly bridge was open, and here comes something I've never seen before. An empty stone barge drifts down the Norwalk River past the fishing dock with no name being pushed by a tugboat. This barge was unloaded at the Devine Brothers concrete plant located upriver. I flip the camera around as the empty barge squeezes through the tight confines of the Bascule Bridge opening and repositions to pass under the Washington Street Norwalk River Bridge seen in the distance. Then, with a few horn blasts, the aging relic turd of a bridge proceeds to close with a whole gang of Metro North workers on site to ensure that it actually does. bridge is located within the territory of the District F dispatcher for Metro North. Once it's closed, it's time to get trains rolling again. Starting off with Amtrak Regional Train 140, which was patiently waiting at the South Norwalk station. Typically, I don't normally film M8s, but rather scoff at the mere sight of their mundane mediocrity and lack of originality. But in this picture-perfect setting, I succumb my urge to shake my fist in the air angrily to capture what I was hoping to be a perfectly timed meet between a boat and train 6551 passing over. But in true M8 frustrating fashion, the train showed up only after the boat with pretty women on it coasted out of frame. So my clenched up fist went back into the air to aid in scoffing at the M8s on 6551 and all future M8s. After watching 6551 cross over the Norwalk River Railroad Bridge, I rushed over to catch train 6846 at a uniquely interesting spot, the Science Road Crossing. This spot is located at the end of Metro North's dock yard. Here's the opening shot to Jeep to the face. As a note, I'm standing well behind the gates, happily watching as train 6846 rips over the crossing with the Jeep to the face, leading with CT Rail 6698 towards Danbury. Man, I never get tired of a big, loud, awesome Jeep. Back to reality. Oh, well, thankfully there's gravity. At the South Norwalk train station, just in time for Amtrak Regional Train 139 running by on track number 1 with a friendly toot from the engineer. This Acela was a total surprise. What I assumed to be 2275 tries to sneak by on track number 1. This Sunday special Amtrak train runs from Providence, Rhode Island, all the way down to New York City with no stops, straight shot down. A mostly clear dust sky blankets the scene as train 5559 charges into the station with CT Rail BL20 GH 125 stopping directly in front of the camera. almost no time to flip the camera to another view of 5559 easing out of the South Norwalk station. Once again, crooked stupidity reigns supreme as Amtrak Acela 2258 trundles past on track 1. Sunset illuminates some wispy cloud streaks hovering in the mostly clear sky as train 6861 coasts to a stop on track number 3 versus the Danbury branch shuttles usually pulling up on track number 5. Train 6861 goes to refuel its locomotive in Stamford Yard, which explains the need to arrive on track 3 instead of the stub-ended track number 5 with CT Rail 6698 shoving the train into the station. As train 6861 starts to depart the station, some guy tries to catch the train thinking someone was in the cab of 6698.
Get out!
Thankfully, this didn't delay 6861 as it cleared just in time for a nice meet with Amtrak Regional Train 132 with another friendly engineer. Conrail Heritage Unit 201 leads Deadhead Train 1162 from a stop through the South Norwalk train station. This deadhead runs from Stamford Yard to Danbury on Sunday night to ensure that 4 big P32 sets are provided for the morning rush on Monday. Only 3 P32 train sets are staged in Danbury on Friday night. So this Sunday 1162 deadhead can be a good train for catching a welcome surprise on an otherwise slower day of railfanning for a Sunday. As to why Metro North does this? I don't know. I was still testing out different nighttime shots as Amtrak Regional Train 167 came streaking out of the darkness with another friendly engineer on track number 3. Don't be like this guy. Amtrak Regional Train 146 coasts through South Norwalk Station on track 1 as a completely clueless, dumbass guy paces it down the platform. This bumbling buffoon absolutely saw me filming the train and couldn't take the hint to scoot over or just move out of the way, but instead, he chose to display total NPC energy walking down the platform. I hate people like this. If you see someone filming, just be mindful and respectful of their shot and try your best not to mess it up. At the end of it all, it's our hobby, and you wouldn't want us to come ruin your hobby by needlessly or rudely including ourselves into it. Don't do that to us rail fans. Thank you. Now, because of Amtrak 146 cruising by earlier on track 1, this made the dispatcher switch my train home 6862 onto track 3 from track number 4. I was happy with not having to run over to track 4 as CT Rail 6698 announces its arrival into the South Norwalk train station. The train pulled up a bit farther than I expected as the conductor greeted me, and I shared my intentions of riding 6862 to the Merritt 7 train station.
How you doing?
What's up? Jumping on your train. At Merritt 7, I had just enough time to run down the platform and catch 6862 departing towards Danbury, and was rewarded with a cool engineer giving some extra horn toots. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you like and subscribe to this channel for more railroad-related and meme-worthy content to be posted very soon.